Welcome to part 2 of learning how to re-amend your bed. Let's get into it. Now, when re-amending, you might not know this, all right? Some of you guys, it depends completely on your soil type, okay? Not just talking about like clay, sand, all that stuff, but also just like which brand of soil did you decide to go using with, because some of them hold more nutrients than the others, so the amount of times you have to re-amend depends entirely on what source you use. And for me, I went the cheapest option and used this brand, Timberline, and I don't know if I'll show the results on screen, but I actually got a soil lab test, and it showed I'm like almost completely out of nutrients, for nitrogen at least. But that's probably partly because I mixed mulch into here. Do not do this, I keep repeating it, but to explain again, mulch can suck up some of the nitrogen nutrients, okay? And just, yeah, that ends up causing a nitrogen deficiency. Surprisingly though, my plant's still doing decently fine, but that also can explain why maybe some are failing. So yeah, your first step is to figure out how much nutrients you're missing or need, okay? So that's where a part of the soil test did for me, is figure out that part. Secondly is the fact you will see this over time, the soil will sink, okay, like this. It just happens naturally, it will erode away like this. And I'm actually mixing like almost 8 inches height, okay? So that's what I use as a basis to get the amount of bags I need. Now you might peep these big bags over here, and these are actually peat moss, because it turns out my bed is getting pretty alkaline, not sure why. Maybe the brand being so cheap and everything, but yeah, it's starting to be a little too high for my liking, so I'm getting some peat moss to balance it out later, and hopefully that has some pretty good effects for this summer. Okay, now once you got the supplies and bags you currently need to start mending your bed, the first step is, of course, getting rid of what you already have growing in the bed, okay? Now, some of these plants you could just chop at the top, let the roots decompose and add even more nutrients, but for me, we're just gonna pull it out. So it kind of pains me to do this, but I am curious, okay? We're gonna pull out these radishes here. They look beautiful and all, but do remember, at the bottom here, there's a whole root crop. Let me see if I can grab it. There we go. Yeah, we're not eating this, okay? It's gone way past time because this whole boot said bolted. Nothing else, okay? But yeah, we're gonna just grab this, pull it away real quick. I think I'm actually gonna preserve this thing, okay? I think I'm gonna cut maybe some of the stalks of like the stem. I know, here, a little flower gardening tip for you guys. When you trim a flower stem, you trim it like a degree like this, okay, like that. And then we're gonna like, look, I got a whole bucket of water, so you can preserve some of these, man. Okay, because they're like kind of beautiful, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Look at that. Again, it is really sad though that none of these could give me a seed though, so that sucks. But yeah, we'll preserve like, I don't even know how many. Now that your bed is completely empty, well, there might be a little couple of these moss in first, then the compost. Never seen what this looks like, and I'm curious how it's gonna affect it. All right, well, it's very heavy. All right, might not need a second bag. Yeah, bro, isn't this insane? We'll see. Once I spread it out, it probably won't go all the way to the top. And just like that, if you follow my steps, your bed should be full, re-amended, and ready to plant. And if you do that, then your bed should produce the same, if not even better amount of crops than last year, okay? So there you go. That is how you re-amend your bed for even better harvest the next season. Goodbye.